won't join, we'll say hi. Hopefully people join it. That's a risk. Hello. We have friends.
Hello.
Hello, Mert, Stephen, Jonathan, and more. All right, let's get started.
Yes.
I'm Luke.
I'm Chae.
Hello.
Hello. We're both on the growth marketing team here, and we're otherwise known as pro specialists, to be a bit more humble than pro experts. But both of us spend lots of time learning the ins and outs of LogRocket Pro, and we're really excited to share with you all the different types of benefits that you and your team can get from LogRocket Pro. So we're really excited. Thank you so much for joining us today, and we're just going to hop right into it, if that's okay.
Yeah, and if you have, everyone's a customer, a LogRocket customer here. So, if you want to interrupt us, we're happy to do it. Just leave a message in the Q&A or in the chat, and we'll get to whatever you want to see. So, if you see something at any point that you want us to focus in on during the demo or otherwise, then just shoot us a message, and we'll definitely be able to do that because it's only customers. So, yeah.
Yeah, awesome. All right. Sure. Sweet.
Can everyone see that? I'm gonna go with yeah.
Hopefully. So yeah, in this day and age, we all know ensuring great online user experiences is quite a difficult task. So when dealing with issues in the user experience, we like to broadly think of it as two ways that you can tackle this. So first, we have the reactive component, and everyone here is currently addressing this piece by using session replay so that you can fix issues faster. And then on the other hand, we have the proactive piece. Now you know of all the issues in your app, how do you know which ones to prioritize? And how do you know which ones are impacting your users the most negatively and also at what scale? And traditional monitoring and analytics tools can fall short in some ways. With monitoring tools like Datadog, New Relic, or Dynatrace, you know that these errors exist, but again, it doesn't prioritize them for you. And then with the traditional analytics tools, such as Heap, Pendo, Amplitude, it tells you users are not engaging with a new feature, or they're not clicking on that new button that you pushed out. But you do not understand the context of why that is happening. And that's why we're going to be talking about LogRocket Pro today. We're going to hop into the demo right after the slide. I just wanted to briefly cover what's included in Pro. So funnels, heat maps, path analysis will all fall under product and UX analytics. And then we have front-end performance monitoring along with alerting on those performance metrics. So you could be more proactive about addressing those issues. And then on the other side, we also offer advanced filters and issue types that we'll dive deeper into later as well. And something I really want to point out is that you will have an access to a customer success manager once you're on the plan as part of your onboarding to help you get set up with one-on-one training for your team, so you know exactly how to use the product for your use case. So we're going to hop into the demo now.
Cool. All right. Thank you, Chae.
Yes.
So, like I said, there's a lot that you get with LogRocket Pro, and if you want to kind of dive deeper into anything that I go through, please try to stop us, or at the end we can revisit. So yeah, let's get started. Just wanted to quickly kind of go through from the more tactical to the high level in terms of what LogRocket Pro gives you. And there's a couple things, you'll notice that there's a lot bigger of a menu over here, and we're going to try to get to most of what we're looking at over there. But the first thing you'll notice with LogRocket Pro, and some people might have tried it in a trial before, so this might be a little bit of a review, is there's just a ton more filters that you can go use, just like you use the normal filters, like searching for a specific user who's complained, or maybe a specific log message. LogRocket Pro basically unlocks all of this extra data that LogRocket can collect, and it's a lot. So basically, any interaction, any kind of performance metric that you think is possible or maybe even impossible, a lot of people don't even know about what we're actually able to go collect on what's happening between the client, the user, and your application or your website or your mobile app. So just right away, you can see we've just got a lot more things we can go search for specific users who have experienced something, or groups of users who have either behaved a certain way, have left like an NPS score, or have experienced really poor performance. And yeah, so I run LogRocket's web properties and some parts of LogRocket the product. So I actually use a lot of the performance filters in Pro quite a lot, and that's kind of what I'll show quite a bit of today. So first, I'm going to show how these filters actually impact what's in a session playback. And then I'll show a couple new issue types. But first, let's go check out what I mean when I say what that extra performance data can be used in your session playback. So we're going to go to a session. Everyone knows and loves these. And what Pro gives you within a session is really great for your engineering teams or yourself. I saw a lot of engineering people are here today. So this is, we're the only solution on the market that does this. Basically, you might kind of think about a lot of these metrics like CPU usage or memory usage on the server side, but what these are is actually on the user's browser. So obviously, just like all the other awesome LogRocket information you're getting with the playback and all that, we're actually showing you how your application is affecting stuff like cumulative layout shift, page load times, CPU usage, memory usage, long tasks, average network speed, which really helps you further diagnose issues beyond looking at session playback, looking at the specific console logs. You can go see the entire app is becoming way slower is because there's some kind of JavaScript loop that's completely consuming all of the memory in the browser. So yeah, there's where I can start to go debug stuff. And yeah, why part of the reason why LogRocket Pro is a more expensive tier is because this is a lot of information that we have to go store, and it's extremely useful. So yeah, that's just a pretty good indication of how much more data we're collecting with Pro. So that's just within a session. That's one really useful thing that I use all the time. Within issues, I know a lot of people already use issues. In your account, you have access to network errors and JavaScript errors. Pro also gives you access to frustrating network requests. And that's where LogRocket's starting to use some of the machine learning to say, this slow or failed network request is actually causing issues with your application's user experience. So that's where we're starting to combine a lot of the UX-focused information that you can use, that we gather with Pro, along with some of the more typical, developer information. So both your product teams and your developer teams and your support teams and your UX teams can all be looking at the same data because we've got all of it, right? So that's just a quick little update for issues. Does anyone have any questions on those two things yet? Looks like no. Okay. So those are, two spot really nice things within stuff that you already use that do get upgraded with Pro. The biggest thing though is, we really want to use LogRocket in a more proactive sense. So a lot of us use LogRocket, we get a bug report or an issue is surfaced, like a JavaScript error. We reproduce the issue, go fix it. The user's happy, hooray. What we really want to use LogRocket for though is finding those issues that before they're actually reported, or being able to really find the issues that are most important to our users or our team for our metrics that we really care about. So basically how we do that is generally with dashboards. And what a dashboard is nothing groundbreaking, but it's essentially a collection of different ways to use these filters within charts. So not only are you looking at specific sessions or specific users, you're starting to think, we've got a big, maybe you've got, we want to improve conversion rates or front-end performance in your application. You can use all those filters that you now have access to in your original ones to look at how something in particular affects large groups of users over time or in an instance, or just to quickly be able to identify sessions that are most important to you. So dashboards, like I said, are made up of lots of charts in Pro. And yeah, we call them time series, which is essentially groups of users who have done something or have been affected by an issue over time. A table is essentially basically just displaying information about issues or about users who have done something. A conversion funnel is what we're actually looking at up top here, and I'm gonna spend a little more time on that one because I use it a ton. And then we have heat maps, which also includes scroll maps, click maps,
hover maps.
Hover maps.
Yeah.
Always the one I forget. And then path analysis we'll also take a quick look at, or just a list of sessions that have done something. And so here we can see like the table view. I'm not sure if I have a session view in here. It looks like that. But a session view is essentially what you're used to looking at for sessions. So if you think about it, like, this dashboard serves a very specific focus, looking at conversion rates within our application in a number of different ways. So I'm actually going to go look at this funnel first. And these are all really easy to set up. You combine things like all the filters you look at along with how people navigate. So it's either visited a URL, did a custom event, or did a specific Redux action, for instance. So it's not just like page views, although this one's set up to be page views here. So yeah, we're looking at users moving through a funnel, and you can start to see another place where LogRocket's kind of machine learning is coming into place to help you surface the issues that actually matter. So let's say this is a really important flow with our app, and this last step is where someone checks out or buys. LogRocket's going to automatically surface all of the issues that are occurring within this funnel, and then how many sessions within this funnel are being affected, and what the impact on the overall conversion within the funnel is because of this issue. So right away, once I've identified what a flow is within my app that I really care about, I can narrow down, the big session list you might be looking at right now to just the issues that we really care about. And then from here, I can go quickly view the sessions that were affected by this issue within this really important funnel. And similarly for things going poorly, we can also look at things going really well. So this might be really nice for a UX team. Say if they're trying to get people to click on the button that gets from this step to this step. This will surface what people are doing that are encouraging people to get through this funnel. And then from here, it's really nice. You can go say, I really need people to complete this step. Show me the sessions that did not complete that step, the issues that might have affected that particular step, and then that session list. So I can just quickly go look at the sessions that I really care about. So that's funnels at a quick glance. I'll show you how it's set up. So like I said, visited URL, clicked on an element, custom events, a definition we'll go into in a little bit, and then Redux action types, which is really useful for like single page applications in React. So the second piece I wanted to go into was alerting, and I'm actually going to bring you through one of the alerts we have set up within a dashboard that my team uses to monitor this demo environment that we were just in. So this demo environment is, a version of LogRocket that's very important because we use it to demo things like today. And if it just broke right now, I'd look like an idiot in front of all of you. So I'm glad that it didn't, but sometimes it does. So, our team really cares about a specific issue. So this is, being more proactive about, we've got lots of issues within LogRocket, just like everyone does. We won't pretend like we don't. So we really care about a particular issue where the text of the error contains error boundary. And for those who develop in React, obviously an error boundary is very, very bad. So when this happens, the entire demo environment crashes and people get very angry at me and everyone. Actually, Chae had one here. So this is a really good example of really narrowing down issues, whether it's UX or an error like this, just to the sessions that we really care about, because this is a really failure of our app. And a lot of the back-end monitoring tools just don't really have enough visibility into the front end. So like, I'm sure you have a lot of like uptime monitoring solutions, but LogRocket as an uptime monitoring solution just has everything there, but plus some, because we actually know here that the front end is failing and our users are really being affected from it. Whereas our backend solution might not catch this. So you can see Chae, this is the person that caused this error boundary to happen, and it's extremely frustrating. So alerting is just kind of what I'm trying to show here, and this is a really great part of Pro. If this happens, we care so much about it that everyone in LogRocket needs to know, and this needs to get fixed immediately. So we set up our kind of time series chart to say whenever the error message starts with error boundary, and then the alerting, we're going to go send to Slack and send to the VP of engineering, and maybe I'll blast it from the rooftops. I don't even know. So every time this happens, I'm going to Slack and we're getting alerted here. There's more than 0 sessions on that time series chart. So I need to know immediately, as soon as possible, and then my team can go fix it much more quickly. So that's just a good example of like how the more advanced alerting and how kind of combining more of these advanced filters can help you really narrow down on the sessions that really, really matter to you. Ooh, we have a question. So Slack alerting is available on team plans. It just functions a bit differently. So if you go look here, actually, I'll go back to, on a team plan, you can go do alerting on issues. So that's like JavaScript errors that automatically, here's the rules. So like you have access to this. What's really nice about Pro and alerting is it's really, really configurable. So you can stack on all of those filters to infinity. So you really just get the issues that you care about. On team plans, which everyone on the call's on, it's basically just for when like an issue first occurs for JavaScript and network errors for any user. Whereas Pro, it can be for a very, very specific type of user or in a very, very specific type of your app. So yeah, if you do want to set up the Slack alerting, you can do that here in a normal team plan. Let me know if that didn't answer your question. It did. Thanks, John. Cool. All right, how much time we got? All right, we're cruising along. Okay, so the last thing I'll quickly go through, I'm lost, here we go. There's just heat maps and path analysis really quickly. So yeah, obviously we want to get as many teams, as many people on your team and then other teams involved. So that's kind of our big reason for adding a lot of these like heat maps, scroll maps, click maps, hover maps. Here's just a quick preview of what those look like. And as you saw from the dashboard before, you can layer these into a dashboard along next to any kind of technical information that LogRocket gets, and quickly just go see like how many times people clicked on something. For a hover map, it shows what percentage of people hovered to a certain part of your application or website, mobile app. And then you can go see those people who interacted with that particular aspect of your app. And then the last part is path analysis, kind of mixed with definitions. So big, awesome part about path analysis is this is a really good way to get a really holistic view of how people navigate or use your application from a pretty broad sense. And we're actually looking at path analysis starting at step. It can also be an ending at step. So this is really, really broad. And again, it's always good to stack on filters. And again, these same kind of navigation types to go set these up. And then within a path, you can then go see people who dropped off, people who completed this certain path, and then you can actually go start to build those conversion funnels to really focus on any of these kind of paths that are most important. And within that was definitions, and as you're adding maybe non-technical people to your team with Pro, it's really important to go make these definitions. And what a definition is just kind of, instead of having to re-enter what is the selector someone clicked on, that means contact request submitted. You can go set these up here to say visited URL contains checkout page is the checkout page, so non-technical users don't have to go mess with selectors or anything. They can just go say, I want to make a funnel where one of the steps is add to cart. So that's another way to kind of combine funnels, path analysis, and the dashboarding features of LogRocket Pro. Did I do everything?
I think so. That covers
All right.
everything.
I think I did everything.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Luke, for that demonstration.
No problem.
I will go back to sharing my screen now, just to finish off our presentation here. Oops, sorry.
I do that every time.
Was not expecting that. Okay, so after Luke's demonstration, you may still be wondering, is this even a good fit for me and my team? And so we wanted to kind of list out a list of considerations to kind of go through when thinking about can this be a good fit? So some of the ones I want to highlight is if your team is often sifting through sessions and trying to surface the most insightful ones by using a mix of filters. At the end of the day, you still don't know if you've surfaced the most insightful ones, especially if users aren't reporting on those specific issues. So in this case, Pro will actively show you the insightful sessions right away. If you're also frequently using filters to observe a segment of users at the moment, using LogRocket Pro can give you much better context on what's going on with those users, what's driving their actions, or if there's any frustrations. That may be really great insights to look into. And the last thing I want to point out is if you're also making product decisions solely based on data without really knowing the context behind behind the whys of these numbers, it may be very beneficial just to see in aggregate over time with all the data that we have in LogRocket, how our users, what will actually make our users click with a button or engage with a new feature that we're pushing out. And if you're able to check off a lot of these boxes, we would love to talk to you. We would love to talk through your use cases and really determine, can Pro provide value for you and the rest of your team? And we would love to set you up with a trial as well. We can go on and on about how much Pro is a great tool. However, we just wanted to share just what our customers have to say. You've known us for our session replay capabilities. We're currently #1 in their session replay category. However, we have been making consistent strides in digital analytics and also product analytics as well. And we just wanted to kind of share some of the honest reviews that users have had to share about their experience with using LogRocket Pro. And yeah, these are some of the ones that they've had to say. Very kind of them. And if we have time, we will go over this case study as well. However, I wanted to make time for questions. So if you have any questions, please send them in the chat. We will get to them. And in the meantime, I will ask some questions to you, Luke. So we've gone over the advanced Pro filters and issues types. Is there anything, if I wanted to get started with Pro, do I need to set up anything in my app?
Nope, since you already have LogRocket installed, LogRocket will just automatically start collecting all the data in the world. So there's nothing else additional that you have to do to have all this work just out of the box.
Sweet. I've now upgraded to Pro, but I really want proper training to get my team onboarded and know exactly how to best use the product. Who can I reach out to for that?
Yeah, so if you upgrade to Pro, you'll have access to a CSM and we'll set you up with who that is. They'll welcome you if you do choose to upgrade. If you're not sure yet, we can also set you up with someone before you upgrade to just do more in-depth training for your particular use case. So we'll get you set up with that if you're interested.
Thank you, Mert. Also, I'm actually really interested in setting up a trial. I'm kind of hooked based off everything I saw. How can I get started? Like,
Cool. There's a couple ways. In app, you've probably seen free trial, kind of little purple buttons like gating a lot of the filters or the navigation elements. You click into that, and then there should be a button that says start a pro trial. That will kick off a 14-day trial and it'll automatically end. If you've already done that or you want a longer trial, just shoot Chae an email and we'll give you a 30-day trial of Pro and we'll help you get it all set up and all that fun stuff. So shoot Chae an email if you haven't already done the one in app. If you want to just click the button in app, go for it at any time. And yeah, we'll get you all set up. So.
And I will also send a follow-up email following this webinar with all that information and everything that you need and everything. And I will also be sharing this slide deck with everybody as well.
Cool. Any other questions? Woo, thanks for joining. Ooh, we got one.
Yes.
Type.
Okay.
Didn't dig it much. Uh-oh. Yes.
Most definitely.
Yeah, like that's dig in much. There we go. I was gonna say that's pretty rare. So yeah, that's why we're doing this, just to get like you to be able to do that again, because we obviously want you to try out again. So yeah, John, we'll reach out and get you set up for a very long one and some onboarding so people can start building all the charts their heart desires. Cool.
Awesome. Thank you everyone so much for coming to this webinar.
Yeah.
I hope it was helpful. We hope it was helpful.
Yeah, and we'll do another one next month. If you want to like dig into something in particular, let us know. We'll see you. Thanks, y'all.
Thank you.
Bye.